I won the 2007 Mr. Universe and the 2007 Pro American Championships. Is different than most of the trainers that I've seen throughout the years, or at least many of them, in that I just keep in consideration many more principles than they do. I might look at a client and see that they're predisposed to build muscle in a certain area, and a woman who doesn't want to bulk up can actually bulk up if the trainer puts her on the wrong regimen.
Since I've worked with Jim, I've learned so many things. I've learned so many different angles of how to hit my chest, how to work the arms to get maximum growth and toneness from them.
I am interested right now in competing in figure competition, and not only do I want to be a good figure competitor, I want to be the best figure competitor.
Overall, just working with him, I've increased more in the past 6 months than I have in the past 6 years.
I've been called a physique transformation specialist because throughout the years I've gathered a lot of knowledge in terms of principles and exercises to where I can apply those almost like a prescription to each individual to help accomplish their goals. I'm a firm believer in getting the biggest bang from your buck from every single workout. So I believe each muscle should be stimulated to its maximum point, and you should achieve growth from that workout. You're working hard, you're eating right. And what makes me different than a lot of trainers is that I do keep a lot of principles in mind. Relative to their goal, I'm very meticulous. And so I apply all these principles to varying degrees, and it basically amounts to a sort of prescription regimen for each individual. I don't just go and pick out a canned workout. I go all out with my clients, and I make sure they get exactly what they want. We establish a picture of what they're going for. I base that relative to their genetics in terms of muscle connection, the level of tone they may be able to achieve. We determine that, and once we establish what we want to go for, I take them directly to that, and many of them find that that's where they end up, exactly what we agreed upon, and it is strictly based on manipulation and the application of those principles that I use. For the most part, I do like to instill a knowledge in all my clients. Sometimes trying to have them hold and maintain all the principles that I use, because it did take me so long to use them, it's kind of tough, even if they work with me for a year's time. Again, because it took me almost 2 decades to really get this, and I'm still learning. But I have established models that do encompass a lot of these principles. So if they just stick to a basic model, they should be pretty good. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said that the body is like clay. Add a little bit of clay here and there. And I truly believe that's the case to such a great extent that I believe you can tap into each and every fiber of the body. Gravity is a primary principle you want to revolve your position around to hit a certain area of the body, regardless of what that area is, and I believe that each fiber can be hit and stimulated individually just by shifting your form, your position. Shifting grip angles and the like does make a big difference. Obviously, if you do a barbell curl with your hands 10 inches apart, over time that's going to deliver a different effect than it would grabbing 12 inches apart. Might be a small, minute effect in the fiber, but then again, that's what these principles are all about. Tapping into the smallest, minutest fiber, putting the most amount of stress on that, and of course intelligently selecting the fibers that you want to bring up. Some people are so focused on failure that say when they're doing a biceps curl, they'll sometimes shift their elbow up or shift it a certain way, and actually what they're doing is bringing in other fibers that they haven't been targeting by remaining in a certain position to get that extra rep, so they're actually violating the positioning principle. It would be better just to use a strategic momentum, keep the hand in the same position that it was beforehand, and just use the body to get that last rep while keeping the arm in the same position. So you keep the emphasis on the same group of fibers. Some parts of the range of motion are stronger than others. You can take advantage of it in certain ways. Taking advantage of the stronger portion of the range of motion would be a great idea when you're shooting for mass. It's not always a great idea to go through a full range of motion, meaning the motion to where your muscles are contracted to the elongated position. That's actually going to hinder your progress because you're catering to the weaker end of the range of motion. Rather, when going for mass, it's much wiser in many cases just to stick to the stronger portion of the range of motion so that those fibers have continual emphasis and get as big and strong as possible. There is a sweet spot in the range of motion, particularly when you're shooting for mass. Take an example, when doing dips, I won't lock out when I perform dips for the chest. I'll just do the range of motion to where I feel I'm strongest and come right back down and remain within that realm. Cheating is actually very useful, knowing that range of motion is distinct and that there are stronger points of the range of motion than others. So you can actually cheat during a barbell curl, say, by using strategic momentum to get the weight past the weaker end of the range of motion so that the stronger range can kick in and use that weight. So cheating does have an advantage.
Really, when I came into it, I just wanted to get toned up. I mean, I don't necessarily want to build big muscles. I don't want to be huge, but I want to lean out a little bit.
Proportions, I feel like my body is proportioned well to compete, but I do need to add, like the top competitors, a little bit of meat on my hamstrings and also in my shoulder area, and really work on those glutes. Need to get those nice and firm and get those to pop out a little bit.
Basically, I'm looking for a V taper, bigger shoulders, larger chest. Basically I just want the fitness look.
I am doing a little bit of modeling, and I recently have decided that I would like to get into fitness modeling.